its historical significance, of course, is obvious. VMI has had many distinguished graduates. We have George C. Marshall, who graduated, who was the advocate of the Marshall Plan during World War II, and one of the most well-known professors of VMI was Stonewall Jackson himself. Also, I wanted to share with you the many ancestors that I had who fought during the war. First off, my middle name is Lee. My first name is Carter. And General Lee's mother was Ann Hill Carter. So I am actually related to General Lee through his mother. My dad named me after her. So I just want to send special thanks for that. Also, I'm related to Addison G.W. Baylor, part of the 5th Virginia Infantry, part of Company D. He survived the war and actually passed down his rifle and numerous other accoutrement items to relatives, which now belong to my father and one day will belong to me. Also, the 5th Virginia was part of the original Stonewall Brigade, so that means so much to me to walk out of the arch every day at VMI and see Stonewall Jackson facing out towards the mountains and just over the parade field. It means a lot to me just to see that historical significance. Also, George Washington Baylor, another member of the 5th Virginia Infantry, he was killed at the Battle of Cedar Mountain in 1862 and is currently buried at Middlebrook, which is not far from here at all. Also, his relative, Addison G.W. Baylor, is buried in Swope. So, the significance of Augusta County is obvious. Also, I am actually wearing a saber that comes from the Augusta Military Academy before World War I. One of my relatives graduated from there. And I get to pass and review every week with this saber. Another relative that I had, James Irvin, fought for the 1st Virginia Cavalry. This was under Colonel Jeb Stewart before he became Brigadier General. He rode with him throughout part of the war and later transferred into the 14th Virginia Cavalry and was later wounded at Middlebrook in 1864, which is also where one of my other relatives is buried. Catesby Jones. He commanded the CSS Virginia when it fought the Monitor in Hampton Roads. Admiral Buchanan had been wounded previously, and Catesby Jones commanded that vessel, and I am a blood relative of his. And a relative of his, Francis Jones, was a doctor in the 8th Kentucky Cavalry under General John Hunt Morgan. I'm related to him. He was captured at Buffington Island along with John Hunt Morgan. John Hunt Morgan had the he was able to escape. I don't know about my relative. I'm sure he got out somewhere or another. But when I speak of all these relatives, I have to think of the commitment that I've made to take a commission in the United States Air Force. And when I think of the significance of this, and I think about the relatives of mine who have gone before me in the service, including my father who spent 20 years in the Army, I realize that I have big shoes to fill, and I have such a high standard to live up to. And as a VMI cadet, so far, I've accomplished that. But as a second lieutenant in the Air Force, I know that's a big step to take. And I've only taken one step so far as a cadet. And I pray to God that He will allow me to step up and fill those shoes that my relatives have done before me. Again, I want to thank you all members of the UDC, for stepping up and acknowledging our relatives who have fought for the South, because they're misunderstood today. A lot of people don't understand why they fought. But we all do. We know why they fought. And it means so much to all of us that y'all continue to recognize that. And I will make a promise to you that throughout my life and as my term as an Air Force officer, I will continue to honor them. And I will continue to make sure that people understand why they fought for what they did. Thank you, and I hope you all have a wonderful evening.